Hey, welcome in. It's your guy Lee. I sat down with San Diego native, National Billboard charting artist, songwriter, and producer Daygo Smoove. Listen in on our conversation about his experiences in the music industry and what he is working on now. Let's do this. Welcome to Hindsight the Podcast.
Hindsight is 2020, hindsight is key. To learn that, you don't need no type of degree. Learn from the past, see what the present gon' be. I'm a wise man, look at these blessings on me. Hindsight is 2020, hindsight is key. To learn that, you don't need no type of degree. Learn from the past, see what the present gon' be. I'm a wise man, look at these blessings on me. The Hindsight Podcast, hosted by Lee Jones, the one and only, my homie, bringing the past to the present and affecting the future for the better.
All right, do we show the recording started?
Yeah.
All right, cool. What's going on, Daygo Smoove with the V? I like that. That. Welcome to Hindsight the Podcast. It's good having you on here. How you doing today, sir?
Peace. I'm good. How you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's pretty good. You know, for everybody, we try new things on here. So we're doing this whole interview over the phone app. So hopefully everything turn out good. I think it will. So I just want to talk. And Daygo, is that your real name?
No. So I rap. So I'm an artist. So basically, this is kind of, my thing. Daygo Smoove is my pseudonym, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because I am from San Diego, California. So, Daygo is the slang terminology for my city.
So how'd you come up with the Daygo Smoove?
Yeah, so actually a female, she told me like, hey, you just too smooth for me. Like, you just too smooth for me. So originally, like, my name was Too Smooth, and then I switched it to Daygo Smoove because it just made more sense. And then, of course, like, I just wanted to rebrand myself. And then on top of that, just wanted to represent the city and, just give the city what they want, pretty much.
So how long you been rapping?
So professionally, I've been doing this since 2012, but I've been rapping since like around, I say 99, 2000.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. And are you from San Diego? I say that because, a lot of people here, military town, stuff like that. Most people aren't really born here.
Right.
I shouldn't even say most. A lot of people aren't born here. So are you originally from San Diego?
Yeah, I'm from San Diego, but I traveled around, moved around a little bit. So I spent a lot of time on the East Coast as a kid. So I kind of...
Where at
New
on
York.
the East Coast? I'm from the East Coast.
New York, the Bronx.
New York. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm from Maryland.
Okay.
Baltimore, Maryland. So, okay.
All right, be more.
All right. No, that's our nickname. I got to be more smooth,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Were both and I read this somewhere, so I'm saying it as fact, but I'm really asking you to confirm it. Were both of your parents in the military?
Yes.
What branch?
Navy and Marines, of course. Makes
Navy
sense.
and Marines. Okay. Yeah. Hey, I did the Army thing, and I ended up going to Camp Pendleton. So go figure, right?
Right.
You talk about your mom in one of your interviews that you did,
Right.
and you were saying that your mom played calypso tapes.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about what calypso tapes are and how that got you interested in music.
Yeah. So like calypso is like, how would I explain it? Like, it's like the indigenous music of the Caribbean. So, my family, we're all Caribbean, we're all West Indian. So, calypso was like a big part of my childhood. So going through these tapes, like my mom would let me wind the tapes back up, back in the day, you had to wind the tapes back up, so, moms would let me wind the tapes back up. I guess that was like my thing to do. So I would wind the tapes back up, and my moms would play these tapes, and I would like all the instruments and, the sound and all of that. And so then I would kind of like, try to figure out like, what it is and learn the lingo a little bit. And of course, when I spent my time in the Caribbean as a child, like I got more introduced to it. So, you know,
Got you.
it's big though. It's big.
Okay. So coming up, you had some influential rappers. So who would like your top 5 influence, like not top 5 rappers, but the ones that kind of influenced you? And it could be R&B as well.
Yeah. So, you know, Game, of course. Game is a big influence. He definitely influenced my career a lot early on.
Right.
I know Nipsey Hussle, of course, Richie Evans. You know, there's a lot. You know, Nas. You know, I mean, there's so many that I can name, but
Yeah.
you know, I mean, those are just the ones that I could think of right now. But you know, definitely those first 2.
So I remember when I was younger, I was a teenager, and I had a friend of mine, and her mom had I didn't know she had a studio, but she had a studio in the basement of her house.
All right.
And she invited me and my friends over there because we were playing around with rap at the time. And she invited us over there. Like I said, we didn't know she had a studio, but we got in there. It's beautiful, right? And she was like, all right, get in there. She started laying some tracks down. And dude, we like blew that opportunity. I just want to put it out there, right? Because that's my hindsight, right?
Right.
I wish I would have took advantage of that opportunity.
Right.
When was your first like real introduction? Not really introduction, but introduction into the business of rap, and how did you go about navigating that?
Right. So my first like major introduction to it was like, you know, moving around with Game and kind of like, you know, getting my feet wet, like with the promotion and like learning how the business works on that side, like learning the inside part of the business and like learning that there's more to it than just sitting in front of the microphone. Like, you know, there's merchandise, there's, you know, marketing, there's, you know, A&R work. I mean, there's so many moving parts to this business that most artists tend to not really pay attention to. So early on, like I kind of made it my business to pay attention to those things.
When did you sign your first deal? And tell me a little bit about that experience. Was it good? Was it a good contract? Did you learn a lot? All of that stuff.
So the first contract that I signed was with a label that was a Sony subsidiary, right? And
right.
I don't really want to, you know, speak ill, but I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Like I'm gonna just keep it real. So basically, what happened was I signed the deal. I came up off tour from Japan. I came off tour. They heard my music. They wanted me to come up and sign a deal with them. I came and signed the deal. I ended up putting out my first project. And, you know, I had already kind of knew how the business was supposed to run. And I kind of already had an idea of how I wanted my marketing to go and how I'd want certain things to run. And we kind of didn't see eye to eye. And, you know, we kind of didn't have a decent agreement, you know, like I expected them to do something. They expected me to do something, and I held up my end of the bargain. So I'm looking at them like, hey, you know, what can we do? And they don't really want to, you know, budge. So I said, hey, can y'all give me a clean release? And they gave me one. So basically that's where, you know, because I own my own masters. So, you know, that's a good thing. You got to own your masters. So I own my masters. So I just took all my masters and left, and they took my my project off of iTunes and whatnot. But we're going to re-release it, and we're going to definitely give it to the people. Anyone that has any copies of those out there, because I floated some copies out there. So anybody that has those, I'm never making any more copies, any more physical copies of those anymore. So if whoever has those, like, you lucky.
Wow.
So yeah, man.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So, hey, let me ask you something. So in this, you said that you had an idea, but did you have a team with you, or was it just you operating the business, the artists, you know, all of these different things?
Yeah. So I had a team with me. You know, it was myself and a few of my friends, and of course my A&R. who unfortunately ain't with us anymore. So, he passed. So definitely, he was a major part of the team and what we were doing at that time. And we went into it knowing like all well that like we needed to own our masters. We needed to make sure that they held up their end of the bargain. And when they kind of didn't hold up their end, it was like, hey, we have to cut ties. So we kind of had to make our own way for a while. And my engineer at the time, he ended up finding a label and he ended up starting his own. And, I kind of moved all my stuff over there and, just decided to partner up with him and kind of start my label and, get things running off the ground for real.
So I'm going back because, like I said, this is hindsight, right? So,
Right.
So looking at how things happened and on that first deal that you signed,
Right.
what would you, knowing now, what would you have done a little differently? Or would you have done anything differently? Or is it just one of those things that you just have to go through?
I think it's one of those things that you really have to go through and you got to really understand it. Because I mean, most people sign deals, right? And especially if they got, a lot of money on the table, they'll sign a deal and, they won't understand like, hey, I need to get my own lawyer. Like I need to get,
Right.
My own, publicist and XYZ. Like, so I knew firsthand, like, hey, we got to get a lawyer, like, took it over to a lawyer. So that part I wouldn't change. But what I would change is that I would probably have stronger management, somebody that will be able to fight on my behalf and be able to like make things work on my behalf. Like, just be a team player, basically. I mean, I did have someone who kind of did that, but they weren't really seasoned in the industry. So if I had someone who was really seasoned in the industry to be able to like navigate me around at that time, then it would have made sense. I mean, the people that I had connections with, they were mostly artists, so they really couldn't do that. And I really wasn't looking for them to do that either. Like I really wasn't ever looking for handouts, just only, some game or some knowledge or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
I get that. You said you got your own label now. What's the name of that one?
The Fly West Collective.
Fly West Collective. Yeah, tell me a little bit about that and knowing what you went through, right? How do you take care of the artists that you have?
Right. So, the Fly West Collective, basically what it is I look at it as a group of people, who not only, love music and the art and whatever have you, but, we kind of pride ourselves on taking care of the artist first. Like it's artist first, because oftentimes we see that labels tend to not take care of their artists, and we kind of see what's happening now in the music industry where, a lot of these artists are not staying with us too long. So, it's kind of my thing as the industry changes, we kind of adapt to, how we need to treat and keep our artists. So for me, we tend to stand on management. Like we tend to manage our artists. Like we tend to develop our artists. Like we don't want, to have them out there not having good PR. Like, they need to know how to talk in front of, media. Like they need to know these things. Cause I mean, you have people like a Kanye or a Jay-Z who are really big and who have a lot of power in their voice. And, if these people were to go out and say certain things, it could cause a PR nightmare, and when you have money on the line and you have people's, livelihoods and their jobs or whatever have you on the line, like you really got to think smart. You really got to play your role correctly. And I mean, it doesn't really mean that you have to sell out your beliefs, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do things.
You mentioned a polarizing figure right now and how words, messaging, things could really cause a PR nightmare.
Right.
In Kanye.
Right.
So really briefly, what do you think on that? How would you handle that?
Yeah. I mean, like say for me, what I would tell Kanye is, look, it's not that people will disagree. There are people that are going to agree, but it's how you say things. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Right? So just because you're Kanye or Ye, let me just, respect him, Ye, just because you're Ye doesn't mean that you can just say whatever you want and no one, take notice or no one get offended. Like, if I were to say something like that, or somebody else who's not Kanye, like I'm pretty sure someone would say something, but it's not going to get the billions of hits and the billions of, reach.
True.
Like the reach is not going to be that far. So for
That's
someone
fair.
like him, he has to understand that, your voice carries, and what you say can be used against you for real. Like, you pay for everything you say, whether directly or indirectly. So,
and for the record, yeah, I absolutely do not agree with this line of thought that he has going on right now.
Right,
so.
right. I don't disagree, but I will say that there's a way that it has to be said, and there's a way that that you put it out there. There's ways to do things, and you can work in the political sphere, or you can work in any sphere that doesn't cause confusion. Like, dude, you can do a lot of things. Like, he has a lot of money. Like, money talks. So, you can move things in places that you want them. You just have to know how to leverage these things. And I think that he probably doesn't know how to leverage those things. There's tons of businessmen out here who lobby and leverage all day. So, yeah. I
get that.
So, yeah, man.
Hey, so tell me a little bit more about Fly West Collective. I saw some nice swag, right?
Right.
A nice shirt, hat, and all these, and definitely the chain, right?
Right.
But is any of that merchandising, is it available for anybody to purchase, or is it just for your artists and your team?
So right now, I'm going to be making my beanies available for purchase, right? So these are going to be limited edition for the time being. Of course, it's getting cold out, so I definitely want people to protect their neck. So definitely get some of these coming up here soon. I'm going to be printing these out and getting these out to people.
Okay.
As far as the chains, these are only for my artists and myself,
Absolutely.
Of course, and my artists and affiliates. If you want one of these, your bars better be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, your bars better be nice, man. You better be nice, man. You better be nice at something. Videography, A&Rs. Anything. I'm actually looking to hire some people soon too. So, definitely looking for people to come in and bring their expertise. Definitely looking for some engineers. We're going to be doing some tours. We're going to be doing some shows. Definitely going to start opening up a studio here soon. So, things are looking pretty good.
What if you have someone who believes they can spit some bars at you, right?
Right.
How do they approach you or your collective?
Right. So, I really don't mind people, coming up to me. I really don't mind it. Of course, with everything going on now, I'm pretty aware. What I'm saying? My team is pretty aware, but, most of the time people will, shoot me a DM or something. They'll probably shoot me their stuff, or, they'll usually I'll find them. Oftentimes, usually I'll find them.
Okay.
And I'll just be like, oh man, this is dope. And I'll reach out to them. But, oftentimes people will send me stuff. You can hit me up at, biz4smoove@gmail.com. I'm going to go ahead and put the email up soon too, because, I had to make sure that everything is solid. Yeah. So,
I got you.
So so you can reach me at biz4smoove@gmail.com. You can send all your links or whatever you want. If you do anything, whether it's videography, anything of that nature. Yeah, we're looking for all of that right now. You know what I mean? Like, man, we definitely putting it in the game right now.
I hear you. I hear you. Help wanted. Jobs available.
Ain't not
I
because
know
like
that's right.
because to be honest, right now, like that's kind of my thing. Like, there's not enough jobs, of course. That's what I feel, and I kind of want to get young people mainly because I kind of want to get people into the music industry and kind of teach them the right way. Like teach them that, the music industry is not, it doesn't have to be this evil monster. You know what I'm saying? Record labels don't have to be this evil monster. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be that way. Like change the game, so to speak. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what I'm looking for, and then also to help these people and kids and whoever to like, foster their creativity, man. Like get them out there. Like who knows, man? I could probably end up having one of the dopest engineers to ever do it. And, they go on and, do whatever they have to do. Like, hey, that's kind of what I want. Like, I want to be able to churn out good people, churn out the collective, man.
All right. Hey, we're gonna rewind it back just a little bit. And so starting from then in the beginning to now, right? What is one of a major challenge that you had to overcome? So just kind of explain that, maybe in the industry, maybe in your mentality, your approach, and then how you work your way through it, right, to come out on the other side.
Right. Maintaining focus. Maintaining focus was like one of the hard ones, because the music industry kind of moves fast. It moves pretty quick. So it's like, if you don't got the right team around you and you kind of like got your hands in so many things, like it could be stressful for you. So, sometimes that's all you got. You got to do with what you got. So you got to work through it. Like sometimes you got the moments, like when Nip said, you had in moments where like you got to take a second and, come back to it. So having to really, deal with like a loss. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like really having to deal with a true loss and, having to bounce back from it. And it's only you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's only you in the corner. Right. So having to deal with stuff like that, like, and to be able to bounce back from it and to be able to learn like, hey, this is what I did wrong. This is what I could have did. Like, even though like, it may not be ideal, like at least now, like what you can get through. You know what I mean?
Right. I hear you. So do you make it I make it a practice for me, to take a look in the mirror.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How can I do better? Right. Even if I think something, someone else maybe had caused it, what can I have done or what should I have done?
Right.
You know what I'm saying in this situation. So I use that looking in the mirror type technique to kind of hopefully get myself a little better. And you mentioned having a good team as well.
Right.
So what do you do? Like, how do you assess, you know what I'm saying, those things to help you continue to grow?
Counsel.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Like always seek counsel. If it's one thing that like I pride myself on and what people have always told me, like seek counsel, seek people, in your field or who know what or who knows what they're doing or talking about in your specific situation and seek them out. Like, I went and I would go to Nip when, Nip was here. I would go to the store or go to a show or whatever and just get game, just get knowledge. Like I didn't want anything from him except that. Like that was cool enough for me. And, whenever I had those questions, like, for game or whoever, like whenever I had those questions, I always was able to seek counsel. So it's like, don't be afraid to hit some of these guys up. Like, don't be afraid to, put your feelers out there and, really tap in with them. Cause, if you really got it and you really about that, like they'll listen. Believe me, they'll listen.
I almost don't need to ask this next question because you basically just answered it there. But I'm going to ask it anyway.
Right.
What bit of advice would you give to someone new to the industry, a new artist coming out and they're just about to, get into the rap game or the music industry?
I would say be aware. That's the first one. Be aware Just be aware of what's around you. Be aware of the people around you. Be aware of the situations that you could be getting yourself into when you're talking about money and financing your career. Like, know what you're getting into. Know the people you're dealing with. 2, like, stay focused. If there's one thing Nip told me, stay focused. Like, there's so many distractions out there, whether it's family, women, whatever. If it's a distraction, it's a distraction. Like, and people, like, and your family and your loved ones and people that understand, that know where you're going, like, they'll understand and they'll be with you 110% of the way. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, so, and the third one and the last one is just love it. Have fun. Love it. Like, if you love it, not only will you not work a day in your life, as some people will say, but it will never feel like a chore. It'll never feel like a job, a 9 to 5. You'll never get up in the morning and say, man, I got to do another show. Man, I got to get into the studio again. Like, nah, you're going to love it. You're going to love getting into the lab and going to shows and doing interviews and talking to people like you know what I mean? Like, you'll love that.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Have a love for it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just do it for the money. Like, the money going to come, man. Believe me. And not all money is good money too, man.
Yeah. That's great advice. All right, I got one final question, and this can, you know, answer it however you want.
Right.
Is there anything that I haven't asked you, right, that you'd like to put out, that you'd like to talk about? Or you can ask me a question. It can be whatever you want to do, right? But is there anything that you want to put out that I haven't asked you so far?
So one thing I put out there is I got a new project coming out, right? I low-key didn't want to plug it, but I'll just plug it because it's you. All right. So, and dude, hey, you another brother, man. So I got to plug it. All right. So
right.
This is the first time I'm doing this too. Like, this is exclusive right here, mind you.
Here we go.
So I got a new project coming out. It's the I Didn't Want You to Wait This Long project, right? It's going to come out next year, right? There's no official release date, but it's 2023, right? So it's going to be out. I'm going to drop it. It's dope. It's 6 songs. I put all of these songs together over a number of years, right? Put this thing together, and I'm going to put this out for the people. This is my first release. Is being a partner with Lucent. So, man, this is going to be lit. This is going to be my first release on my label, too. So this is going to be dope. I also got some artists. I got JC the Business, who's also going to be coming out with music as well. So he's definitely another San Diego artist I'm going to be putting out. I got another couple people that I'm going to be dropping as well. So, I mean, hey, anybody that want to reach out, y'all already know. Y'all got that email last. So, hey, it's lit. So also, last but not least, this is my last thing for real. I'm going to be throwing shows as well, too. So anybody that see that Fly West Presents on there, y'all know that that's me. So I'm gonna be throwing my huh?
Hey, so 2023 gonna be lit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 2023 is gonna be the Southern California is gonna be my area, my home base, right? So this is where I'm gonna be doing a lot of my stuff at, Southern California. So Southern California gonna be in for it. So a lot of your favorite artists, I'm gonna make sure that I bring them to your cities. If y'all want to follow me, y'all follow me at Daygo Smoove, DaygoSmoove on everything, and hit me up.
Hey, Daygo, so where can we find these flyers at? Where are they going to be posted at?
So you'll see these online. You'll see these on Instagram. You can go to The Fly West on Instagram, and you'll definitely see them there. Y'all can follow that account. I'll also be doing a lot of giveaways and a lot of stuff like that. So if y'all follow that account, y'all definitely be locked in for them giveaways.
I'm trying to get in there and get one of them beanies. You gonna be giving away one of them beanies?
I got you. Let me know, and then I'll go ahead and send you one. When I make them, I'll go ahead and send you one. I got you.
My man. All right. Hey, it's been a pleasure taking a few minutes out of your day. Daygo Smoove.
Always.
I really appreciate it. 2023, you're going to be looking out for you for some really good things. I'm signing up on Instagram. not just to get the beanie, but just to check out and see what's going on, with you and your team, and make sure you staying focused, my brother. Make sure you staying on track.
Always, man. Right? And low key, like, hey, if you want me to pop in, man, on your podcast, man, you want me to pop in and do it in person, I'm always welcome to do it in person. I'm not too far, man.
I know you're not. You're right down the road, and I'm going to hold you to that.
All right.
All right, my man. Hey, take care, Daygo.
All right, man. You too.
All right.
Love.
Hindsight is 20/20. Hindsight is key. To learn that you don't need no type of degree. Learn from the past, see what the present gon' be. I'm a wise man, look at these blessings on me. Hindsight is 20/20. Hindsight is key. To learn that you don't need no type of degree. Learn from the past, see what the present gon' be. I'm a wise man, look at these blessings on me.